Got back. So let's just sit with eyes closed. Take a moment to just drop in mind and body. So mentally letting go of your day. Giving yourself permission to have this 75 minutes to just be completely in your body. The most important relationship that you can build throughout your life is this one, in your body. So give yourself this time. Everything else can wait. Let go of any expectations you might have of your body. The way in which you feel it should perform. Let go of how it was last week, because today's a different day. Just set the intention for the practice to approach your practice with loving kindness. We have a practice in yoga of ahimsa, the practice of non-violence. And each time you berate yourself, belittle yourself, judge yourself, shame yourself, it's a small act of violence. Even when we say things in jest, our body doesn't know that. So notice as you practice today, have that awareness, not just of the body, but of the chatter in your mind. You know, these practices, our yamas and our niyamas, these are the practices before we start practicing asana, this physical practice. We're supposed to practice, have a deep practice of these yamas and niyamas. So having an understanding. And this practice of non-violence is just one of them. So today, be aware. An act of violence is pushing your body way out of its comfort zone without thinking, without connection. It's allowing the mind to take over the practice, the ego to take over the practice. Not listening to the communications of the body, overriding the body. It's an act of violence. Would you do it to somebody else? Would you speak to the person next to you on your mat the way that you speak to yourself? When we do something wrong, there is no wrong. There's just coming in here and exploring, feeling, building a deeper relationship with this physical body that we are in 24/7. So use your practice to make this body your best friend. Charm it. Show it love. Show it kindness. So keeping your eyes closed, just come forwards onto all fours. Start to move into your cat-cow. And explore this body with that childlike curiosity. No expectations. Just feeling. Being in tune with each part of the body. And start to circle the hips. So nice big circles. And as you circle the hips, moving up into the shoulders, feeling the shoulder blades moving around on the back, move into the neck, feel the whole spine. Don't change the direction of your circles. And then coming back into a neutral position, come to lying on your tummy. So taking the right arm out to the side, shoulder height, spread the fingers wide, and then turn your gaze to the left and roll onto the right side, stepping the left foot back behind you. Breathe into the stretch. You can gently press into your left hand just to increase that stretch. Good, and then rolling onto your tummy. Take the left arm out to the side. Turn the gaze to the right and roll onto your left side. Good, and then coming back onto your front. Hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself back into your downward dog. Put a really good bend into your knees. Like a good 90-degree bend. And curl your sitting bones up towards the ceiling. Push the mat away. See if you can get your tummy onto your thighs. Really exaggerate that bend through the knees and that stretch through the spine, and see if you can find more length. Good, then keeping that length through the spine, slowly start to straighten the legs. And notice there's a point where the back's going to want to round, Jess. Working towards, bring the hands forwards. Notice as the back starts to round if you're straightening the legs, and stop. Just hold it here, feeling into that length through the spine. Having straight legs and heels to the floor is not necessary. To curl the sitting bones up more. More. And just feel. Spread the toes. See if you can lift the tips of the toes away from the mat. It'll start to straighten the legs a little bit more, but keeping that length through the spine. So Sarah, now pull your front ribs in, think Uddiyana Bandha. Yes, really strong bandhas. And then walk your feet to the top of the mat. So coming into Uttanasana, bring your hands onto the backs of your hips. And on your inhale, come up to standing. Bring your arms down by your side into Tadasana. Inhaling, floating your arms up. So keeping that length through the spine. Keep it as you exhale, hinge from the hips and fold forwards, lengthening, 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 and then rounding. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. Inhaling to upward dog. Exhale back to your downward dog and come back to your breath. Feel through each part of your body. Just take your feet back. Sorry, everywhere. Yes. I'm going to put that over here. On your inhale, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, hands to the heart center. Inhaling, taking the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga. Inhaling to upward dog. Exhale back to your downward dog and come back to your breath. So always finding more length through the spine, from the hands, the fingertips. But on your inhale, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Inhaling, taking the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga. Inhaling to upward dog. Exhaling back to your downward dog. Follow that flow of the breath. Good. Inhaling, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana, lengthening as you lift. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. Inhaling, taking the arms up, lengthen as you lift. Relax the shoulders, Rachel. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, lengthen and lift to your flat back, back of the neck long. Exhale, step back, chaturanga. Inhaling to cobra or upward dog. Exhaling back to your downward dog. On your inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. Inhaling, taking the arms up, find more length. Exhale, forward fold. Keep that length for as long as you can and then let the spine round. Inhaling, lengthen as you look forwards. Exhaling, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Feel. There's so much to feel in the body. When we are fully embodied, the mind doesn't have time. There's no space for it to be in there. But we have to train. We have to train the mind to focus on the sensations. We have to train it to work for us instead of trying to run the show and distracting us and working against us, which is a lot of what it does. So we use our practice on the mat to train our mind to work for us and to observe, to listen to the body's language of sensation and feeling. But on the inhale, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Inhaling, rise up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, bring the hands to the heart center. Inhaling, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, step back, Chaturanga. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale the right foot forwards, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhaling, lower the hands to the mat, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale the left foot forwards, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhaling, lower the hands to the mat, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, and come back to your breath. I'm going to turn that down a bit. So on your inhale, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Bend your knees, inhale up to Utkatasana. Exhale, come to stand, hands to the heart center. Inhaling, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, back to your downward dog. Inhaling the right foot into high lunge. Exhaling, lower the hands to the mat, step back, Chaturanga. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale the left foot forwards, high lunge. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Ardha Mukha Svanasana and come back to your breath. Notice any tension. Can you feel any areas where the energy is not flowing, where it's tense? See if you can recognize that difference between a muscle holding and being active and tense. Tension. Soften the tension. Give it permission to release. Do you want me to turn it off? Bit melty. Good. On your inhale, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Bend your knees, inhale up to Utkatasana. Exhale, come to stand, hands to the heart center. Inhaling, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale the right foot forwards, high lunge. Exhaling, hands to the heart center and twist to the right. Hold it here. So straightening the arms if you want to straighten the arms. If you can go for the bind, you can go for the bind. Roll that top shoulder back. Yes, Rachel. Bind is pretty deep, so watch out with that one. Good. Inhaling, come back to the center. It's kind of a whole other class. Exhaling, lower the hands to the mat, step back, chaturanga. Inhaling to upward dog. Exhale back to your downward dog. Inhale the left foot forwards, coming into your high lunge. Exhaling, turn to the left. So again, opening the arms out. If you want to try the bind, keep the connection to the back foot, roll the top shoulder back. So you need to go into it. Yes, Rachel, there. Yeah, and then find that long line. It's rolling that top shoulder back. Yes, Sarah, got it. Now more through Mula Bandha. And find your long line from the heel to the crown of the head. Releasing, inhale, come back to your high lunge. Exhaling, lower the hands to the mat, step back, chaturanga. That does happen. Inhaling to upward dog. Exhaling back to your downward dog. It's quite nice in all of those postures. There's variations. Some days your body just wants to do hands to heart center, and that feels nice enough. But it's nice to know that opening the arms out takes it to another level, that working into the bind takes it to a whole other level. It's a play. But remember, we're building the postures. We're not moving into a deeper posture to forfeiting the integrity of the original posture, which can often happen. So just being mindful as we move. On your inhale, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Bend your knees, inhale up to Utkatasana. Exhale, come to stand, hands to the heart center. Inhaling, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, step back to plank. So bring the feet together. Roll onto the outside edge of the right foot and come into a side plank. Now lift the left leg and step it behind you on the mat and turn the hips and the heart up towards the ceiling, coming into Wild Thing. The ecstatic opening of the enraptured heart is the official translation. Kamatkarasana. Yeah, it's a really lovely posture. So push the hips up then. Yes. Then coming back into your side plank as you inhale, exhaling through plank chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale back to your downward dog. Good. Inhaling, step the right foot forwards, come into your high lunge. Exhaling, fold forwards to Virabhadrasana 3. Lengthen. Again, extend. Flex the back foot. Push out through the heel, reach forwards to the crown of the leg. Make the back of the neck longer. And inhaling, slowly coming up to standing. Bend the standing leg. Exhale, sit down to Garudasana, taking the right arm on top. Lift the elbows, draw the hands away from the face. Full moon, if balance is not your thing, toe down. So bend that standing leg. Bend, bend, bend the standing leg. And then cross higher. Yeah, the higher you can cross, the more likely to get the bind. Now moving from the core, as you inhale, untangle and step back to your high lunge. Exhaling, lower the hands down, step back to plank. Bring the feet together. So Sarah, come back up again. Roll onto the outside edge, nice save, of the left foot. Then step the right foot back behind you and turn the hips and the heart up towards the ceiling. Think ecstatic opening of your enraptured hearts. Keep thinking that and it starts to feel like it. It's lovely. Good. Inhaling through side plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale the left foot forwards, high lunge. Exhaling, fold forwards, Virabhadrasana 3. So take the arms to the side if it feels nicer. Remember all the different variations. If you're going to hit your neighbor, hands in front of the heart center. Active back leg and find that energetic line from the back foot to the crown of the head and lengthen more. Yes, Kabir. Inhaling, come up to standing, bending that standing leg, get a good bend, cross high at the thigh and bind. Take the left arm on top of the right. Lift the elbows, draw the hands away from the face and breathe. Good bend in the standing leg and then just tap the toes to the floor. Yeah. Moving from the core as you inhale, step back to your high lunge. Exhaling, lower the hands to the mat, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, and come back to your breath. Just exploring where the mind's gone through your practice. Have you been in your head, in your body? Is the judgment? Is there a narrative going along with your practice, or are you into the feelings, the sensations? Recognize if there are any blocks in energy in the body. See if you can follow those as they move around the body. Maybe they stay in one place. Track the sensations as you move. Inhaling, step forwards, come into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Bend your knees. Inhale, come up to Utkatasana. Exhaling, come to stand, hands to the heart center. Inhaling, sit back to Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, step back to plank. So coming onto the outside edge of the right foot, take the left arm up. Step the left foot back. Open out into your open heart. Inhale, back to side plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhaling to upward dog. Exhaling back to downward dog. Inhaling the right foot forwards, high lunge. Exhaling to Virabhadrasana 3. Inhaling up to standing, bend the standing leg. Exhale, sit down to Garudasana. Inhaling, step back to high lunge. Exhaling, lower the hands to the mat, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale to plank. Roll onto the outside edge of the left foot and then step the right foot back. As you inhale, open your heart towards the ceiling. Then coming back into side plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, back to your downward dog. Inhaling the left foot forwards, high lunge. Exhaling, Virabhadrasana 3, staying in your body. Inhaling up to standing, bend the standing leg. Exhale, sit down to Garudasana. Inhaling, step back to high lunge. Exhaling, lower the hands to the mat, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, back to downward dog, and come back to your breath. Observe changes in the breath, changes in sensations in the body. Maybe it's just body temperature. Maybe a sensation you were feeling has moved. Just observing how your body reacts and communicates as you flow. Get those front ribs in, Sarah. Oh, okay. Stay there then. Go for it. And on your inhale, step forwards, coming into your flat back. Exhaling, fold down to Uttanasana. Bend your knees. Inhale, come up to Utkatasana. Exhaling, come to stand. Bring the hands to the heart center. I'll shut up and leave you in there. So, grab your straps. So you're going to start with the straps standing in Tadasana with the legs or slightly wider than hip distance. Just bringing the arms out in front. So you want the hands slightly wider than shoulder distance. They might need to go even wider, but see how your shoulders feel. Inhaling, take the arms up. And as you exhale, roll them back. See if you can take them all the way down. Try and keep those arms straight. Take it as wide as you have to. Go right the way out. Yes. And then up. Good. You need to take it wider. We're not trying to tear the muscles in the front of the shoulders. Have it as wide as it has to go. You know, listen to your body. So taking it up and all the way back and up. Remember, this is ahimsa, no violence. Act of violence would be to try and meet that resistance and then brute force push through it. There's nothing to gain by it. Good. Now come up to the bit where you meet that resistance and floss. Give it a little rub. Smile, Rachel. That are smiling or frowning or grimacing or through the teeth communicates to our body whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. Because I'm guessing it's to do with which muscles you're tensing to lift the arms up. Lowering them down, you're just letting go. The muscles are turned off. And when you're lifting up, you've got to turn the muscles on to pull them, and then you're stretching them at the same time. It's a good question. I would like to give you a more technical answer to that, but yeah, that's just where. And then lift the arms over. So resting the straps down for a moment. We're going to come into dancer's pose, Natarajasana. So here, bringing the feet hip distance. Fix your gaze to a point on the floor, a few feet in front of you, like 4 or 5 feet in front of you. So just take a moment to connect to that. That drishti point acts as another limb almost. You know, when we're standing on one leg, we want that drishti point because it helps to anchor us. So actually really connect. Imagine an energetic line from your eyes, like a tent pole. And then bring your right hand to your right elbow to your right hip with the palm facing up. Good. Bend the right knee. And then you're going to take hold of the foot on the inside. So watch out, Kubi. See how you did that? Do that. Yeah, because you want this external rotation of the arm, because then that helps the chest to open. Bring the knees together. And now lift out of that standing leg as you inhale, taking the left arm up. And on your exhale, fold about 45 degrees forwards, reaching forwards, and kick the back foot up towards the ceiling. So we're trying to keep the hips square, the hips level. See if you can lift that left arm back alongside your ear and lengthen more through the spine and breathe into this, kick that back foot up. Then slowly coming up to standing. Release the legs down, come into Tadasana. Everybody's pretty stable for a full moon. I'm impressed. So bringing the left hand to the left hip. So it's this rotation of the arm we're looking for. Bending the left knee. And take hold of the inside of the foot. That rotation. Yes. Yes. I know, whole different ball game. Yeah. So bring the knees together. Stand up tall. As you inhale, take the right arm up, lengthen the tailbone down. And as you exhale, folding forwards. So you're reaching forwards through that top arm, but what you're trying to do is not drop that right shoulder. You're bringing the whole chest forwards and then kicking the back foot up towards the ceiling. Breathe into this. Where are you feeling it most? Notice the sensations. I'm going to completely throw your balance. I'm going to tell you to turn this hand that way. Yeah. Can you feel how it rotates the shoulder? Yeah. And then this opens. Inhaling, slowly coming up to standing. And then release down. So if you do it, look yourself, when you rotate the shoulders in, when you rotate the hands in, it's an internal rotation. The shoulders collapse forwards, which when you're then trying to go into a back bend, you're encouraging the spine to round the other way. And then you're asking it to go that way. So it's a lot harder than if you're externally rotating, which automatically, yeah. But it's harder if you've got tight shoulders. Then it's hard, but it's nice. So now get your straps. We're going to come into second variation using the straps. So you want a little loop. Make a little loop. All got a loop? Yeah. Take it then back. Where has your loop? Oh no, I think you got it. Yeah, and then it goes back like that. Okay. It took me quite a few years to work out how to correctly use a yoga strap, I'm not going to lie. So you're going to bring this around the ankle of the right foot. And then you're going to feed the strap. Be mindful not to get those metal buckle bits onto a bony part of your foot. You're going to feed it through the ball of the big toe and the long toe next to it. So you've got like a thong happening. Freaks some people out. They really don't like it. Yeah, if you don't like it. You do. Yeah. Yeah. Some people really hate wearing flip-flops, and this just freaks them out completely. So from here, so bring the loop round the ankle. Just do the loop round the ankle, not round the toe. Undo it from your toe. Undo it from the toe, because that's going to cause you some pain. Yeah, tighten it up. And then that bit goes through there. Tighten it up a little bit so that metal thing's not on your toe. Yeah. You guys clearly not used to wearing these things. So. Then. Thank you. Put that around your ankle. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Great. This is a whole class in itself. External rotation of arms and this, a whole other class. So from here, what you're going to do is you're going to bend the right leg and you're going to bring the strap up over your shoulder and take hold of it in both hands. Point the elbows forwards, lengthen the tailbone down and bring the knees together. Now, as you inhale, lengthen up through the spine, lift the hands. Exhaling, fold forwards just a little bit, and then kick the back foot up. Hold it here for a little bit, and then walk the hand down the strap. Then hold it a little bit. So Sarah, if you come forwards a bit more, don't be as upright. And now kick the foot up more. Yes, there. It was a nice shape though. Really nice shape. So Rachel, lift the arms up away from your head. Then lift the arms up away from your head. So you're trying to take the arms up towards the ceiling. So walk the hands down the strap. Back down there. And now as if you're lifting up this way. Yeah. Good. So cool. Bend your elbows and walk your hands down the strap further. Yes, Jenny, come forwards a little bit and kick the back foot up more. So use the back foot to lift up, to find a bit more space. Take a couple of breaths, walk the hands down the strap and then lift the hands more. Hard, isn't it? Have you done that one before? Yeah, it's tough. Yes, Jess. Just stay there. And then slowly bring yourself out of it. How did it feel? It's really hard. It's a really hard posture to do because in the other one, you can escape sideways. Yeah, and this one, you are constrained in that forwards, backwards alignment. But the strap's lovely because what you're trying to do is create an energetic loop between the hand and the foot. So you reach back and take hold of the foot. And you're trying to create that loop. So Sarah's got here, you can see there's that circle that we start to create. But when you're upright, you end up standing up doing it. But you need to have a little bit of a tilt forwards and then work into your back bend. And the further forwards that you tip makes it a little bit easier to then get that circle, get that connection, and then you can start to stand up. Yeah. So let's swap onto the other foot. Then the standing leg. Yeah. It provides a bit of relief. It just releases, yeah, the standing leg. If you're standing with it straight all the time and you're in it for about 10 breaths, it's a lot on the standing leg. And I would always say, rather than what we tend to do when we're in a yoga posture, standing for a long time, we tend to dump into it. So actually you're better off bending it, which stops you dumping because then it activates all the muscles. So you're better off with a bend. Micro bend rather than a locked leg and dumping, which actually makes it really difficult, makes it much harder. So yes, bend. So bending the left leg, take the strap up over onto your shoulder and reach around and take hold of the strap with both hands. So think you're trying to create a circle, that loop. So slowly walk the hands down the strap, roll the elbows forwards. Now, leaning forwards, kick the back foot up. See if you can walk the hands down the strap further. And then can you lift the hands in a straight north towards the ceiling? Kick the back foot up more, Ben. So more, tip forwards more, and then kick the back leg up more. Yes. Good. So Jess, now bend the elbows and walk the hands back further, because your elbows will bend easily. Yeah. It's balanced then, but yeah. See if you can use your back muscles to hold you. Can you use the other muscles rather than hanging onto the strap for dear life? Yeah. And slowly coming up. Release. Get rid of the strap. Nice, isn't it? It's quite a nice posture to do. So coming to the top of the mat. Inhaling, taking the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, lift to your flat back. Exhaling, step back, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, back to downward dog. And then step or jump the legs through and come to sitting with your legs out in front. Boat pose. Cramp in the foot. So sitting up nice and tall, arms out. Lift the legs. And breathe. So lengthen up through the spine. See if you can make your spine longer. Sarah, can you straighten your legs? Yes, easily. You don't have to keep them there if you don't want, but breathe. Broaden across the collarbones a little bit more. Take a nice breath in and relax. So coming back into boat pose, we're going to move from Navasana to Ardha Navasana, the up down one. So whichever variation you're working with, straight legs or bent legs, I don't mind. Take a nice breath in and then exhale to lower down. Inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhale down, inhaling up, exhale down, inhaling up. Keep the shins parallel to the floor. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up. Last one, exhale down and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. How are backs feeling? Yeah. Was that okay, Anna? Yes. Good. Good. Be mindful as we're going to come into back bends. Just be mindful of any tweaky backs. Don't want tweaky backs in back bends. We want nice, strong backs. So coming onto your knees. Tuck the toes. Bring the hands to the backs of the hips. Roll the shoulders back and draw the elbows in. So opening the heart, keep the back of the neck long, and then walk the hands down to the middle of the thighs. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest even more. Hold it here. See if you can hold this shape. Just release the hands and turn the palms of the hands outwards, that external rotation again. Other way. Turn hands out. Other way. Yeah, that way. Yeah, see if you can bring the hands closer together as if you were going for the heels. If they're there, Sarah, if that's where they go, then that's where they go. But without leaning back to get the heels, just using the strength in your back to lengthen and lift up. And then slowly coming up to sitting. This is him. Sit back to the heels. You need that strength in your spine to do all of these back bends. So being stuck in that mid variation of the posture might feel like torture. Then if it's not comfy to sit like that, just don't sit like it. Just sit to the side. But that's the strengthening postures, because otherwise what we tend to do is we start upright, and then because the back's not quite strong enough, we fall back into the pose. And then we dump into the heels. Sarah, can you just come up and demo for me, actually, because you did it really nicely. So take the arms onto the hands. So now walk the hands down the backs of the legs. So if Sarah works deep down into this and just releases the arms, see how she can be light on the hands. So she can hold that posture and move her hands away, make a fist and just move the hands, but she's still in the same shape. So come out of it if you want. But that's what we're looking for, is that flexibility and opening of the front body, but with the strength of the back body and the mobility of the upper back to hold you so you're not dumping. Because the minute you dump the weight into the heels and dump the weight into the hands, you're going to dump into the spine as well. You start to dump. And that's why for so many people, this posture is horrible. You know, I've taught this posture for years and years and years, and a lot of people really hate it. They really don't like it. And it's because the strength isn't there to hold and the extension is not there. So it might be enough for you here, working into this and building that strength until it just so happens that the heels are there. Because that's when we've built enough of a relationship with our body that there's a trust there, because there's a strength there, because we've listened to our body, that it goes into a practice nicely and the posture starts to feel nice, as opposed to, got to get some heels, got to, which all just feels you can't breathe properly. And it doesn't feel nice, whereas that feels nice, doesn't it? It's like, it is a heart opening. So let's go again. And it is, because the thing is with yoga postures, the idea is the word posture itself is just horrible, because even once you reach the heels, that's not it. It then goes into a full back bend where you're down on your forearms. It then goes, you know, it moves and it morphs. So it's a continuous flow. So just meet your body where it is in that flow. And if you spend most of your life upright and bent forwards, don't expect it to go backwards just yet. So hands to the backs of the thighs. Roll the shoulders back, open the heart, and then slowly take yourself back. Yes, taking the palms of the hands out, turn them out and see how it feels. Let your body guide you rather than your mind and what your expectation is, what feels good. Does your heart feel open? These are lovely. Can you breathe? And then slowly come up. Kabir, you looked so blissed out. This is so nice. Just taking a breather. Sit up nice and tall. And then fold forwards, tummy to the thighs, just coming into a child's pose, and let the spine round. And then slowly coming up to sitting. So come to lying on your back. Have a cork brick close by. So I'm going to give you a choice, because I want to do a shoulder stand as well, but I'm going to teach bridge pose. But if you want to go into Urdhva Dhanurasana wheel, if it's in your practice, do it. Yeah? You know which one I'm talking about, don't you, Crab? Numerous now. I like, it's just westernized yoga terms. There's a power to words. Urdhva Dhanurasana has a power to it, but people just look at you blankly and say crab and everyone goes, all right. So bring the feet to hip distance. Arms alongside the body, unless you're going into Urdhva Dhanurasana, and then go for over your head. So you're going to slowly push into the feet, spread the toes wide, then bring your heels closer to your sitting bones, right the way in. So pressing down into the feet. As you inhale, lift the hips up towards the ceiling. And then slowly walk the shoulder blades together underneath you. And see if you can bring the palms of the hands together, interlacing the fingers, and extend the arms down the mat. Inhale, lift a little bit higher. And then slowly releasing down. So from here, we're going to come into a shoulder stand, or the chilled out restorative variation of shoulder stand using your wedgie blocks. Does everyone know how to do this one? No? It's lovely. So you're on your back, you lift the hips, you place the cork brick just underneath the sacrum, and then you place the other brick on top. And then as you lift the legs, so this brick supports the lower back, it creates a little tilt, so it just holds the hips. And you can just chill here. And you get the benefits of the inversion because the hips are up higher than the heart, but without the effort of shoulder stand. But if you want to do shoulder stand, you can do shoulder stand. You look confused. Which one are you going for? Do you want to do that one? Yeah. So lie on your back. You want this one. Okay. Lie on your back. Yeah. Lift up the hips. So that one goes there. You then place that one wedged underneath. Okay. Yeah. And then just lift the legs and it will tip with you. Nice, isn't it? That's good. It's a really lovely posture. Ben, do you want to try that supported one? You can just chill there. The another option is you just take the arms and the legs up. Yeah, they're floppy. I call it dead bug. And then you just let the arms drop down heavy. It's so nice. Waterfall it's called, but it's lovely. So making sure in shoulder stand that the gaze is up towards the tummy, the knees, the feet. Just keeping the back of the neck safe. If it's in your practice, you can go into plow. Use that as an opportunity to walk the hands a little further down towards the shoulder blades and walk the elbows in closer, coming up onto the tops of the shoulders even more. Just being mindful of your neck. Very deep neck flexion. So Kabir, can you bring the hands onto your back and use them lower down or higher up the back, but low, yes, to lift the hips higher, to get more lift onto the tops of the shoulder blades. Bring the elbows in closer together. Problem is if we release the hands too quickly, the weight dumps down, so we need to get up onto the tops of the shoulders. Yeah, come out with control. Yeah. Yeah, be really mindful of your neck. It's not worth it sometimes. You can always do it with blocks, but yeah, or you do it lying on blocks or a blanket. You get a blanket and lay a blanket flat and you just take the head off the blanket and the shoulders on. Just gives you a little bit more space for the neck. Because some of us have got slightly bonier. It's not worth aggravating a neck. Do you want to try it with a blanket quickly? Let's see. It's a handy thing to have. So if you look, then it gives you that much space for the neck. So if you have your head off the blanket, come down this way a little bit, yes, and now go up into it. How's that? Yeah. Yeah, just gives it, stops it being such a deep flexion. Go into lotus, Sarah. Can you get your legs in lotus? Do you want me to help you? I can't do it without. No. I can't do it without a hand to help. Whenever I used to do Iyengar, that pose used to get me every time. Not Iyengar, Ashtanga. So slowly. If you're in full shoulder stand, release your hands to the mat, take your legs over your head and roll yourself down with control, keeping the thighs close to the tummy. Yes, Jenny, one vertebra at a time. And just come to lying with the feet flat to the mat. Knees bent. So if you're on the blocks, just lifting the hips up and sliding the blocks out from underneath you. And then take your arms out to the side, shoulder height with the palms up. Lift up the hips and move them over to the right side, no, the left side of the mat. Good. And then lower the knees over to the right side. So the hips to the left then, and then the knees to the right, yeah. And then use that right hand, just place it on top of the left thigh or the knee. You can draw that knee in closer. This twist, feel into your back where it feels nice, because the knees closer towards the chest will move higher up into the back. The knees lower down will move lower into the back. So feel what feels nice in your back, because each of us in back bends are very different. Where we'll feel it will be very different. Gaze towards the left hand. And keeping in mind that the back of the neck stays long as you come into that full spinal twist. Coming back up to the center. So move the hips over to the right side of the mat. And on your exhale, twist the knees over to the left. And again, play around with it a little bit. Listen to your body. Now, I can get you into a twist, but you can feel what feels good. Where does it feel nice? Bring that leg up a little bit. Yeah. How does that feel? Better? So anywhere from knee level with hip to knee up towards the elbow or the wrist, the opposite wrist. Play around within that range to find what feels sweet in your body. And then slowly coming back to the center. Bring your hips back to the middle of the mat. Extend the legs down and come into Shavasana. Relax every muscle in the body. What could you relax more? You're not sure in your body where is relaxed. One of the best practices you can do is to tense every single muscle in the body and then let go. As we're lying here, just feel into the sensations of relaxation in your body. What does relaxing feel like? Without adding words to it or a story to it. What are the sensations in this relaxed body? Mindfully wiggling the fingers and toes, feel each wiggle. Be present in each finger and each toe as you wiggle. Gently hug your knees in towards your chest. Roll over onto the right side and bring yourself up to sitting. And bring your hands in front of your heart center into prayer. We will close chanting 3 Oms together, taking a breath in for Om. Om. Gently bowing your head. Namaste.